Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where today we're finally getting on something I've been thrilled to get started on. This 1964 Mercury Colony Park station wagon that we drug out of a closed used car dealership in New Mexico. Every car on there drove in, was traded in, and some of them just stayed there forever, like this one. The best we could tell, it seems like this car has been off the road since the early 1970s. This car was sold originally in Las Cruces, New Mexico, about an hour south of where the dealership was that we found the car. You see here, it was sold new, most likely at Pool Motor Company in Las Cruces. Somebody was cruising up the highway. Maybe something was wrong with it and they just swapped it in, or maybe they just wanted a newer car. The Colony Park was Mercury's top-of-the-line station wagon. Now, depending on this being a 6 or 9 passenger wagon, which we're not sure of yet, I haven't really been into it. If it was a 9 passenger wagon, they made just over 5,000 of them. If it's a 6 passenger wagon, they made just under 5,000 of them. Either way you cut it, it's a fairly rare car. I do believe that it is a 6 passenger wagon. This looks just like a cargo area back here. It doesn't look like there's a jumper seat back there necessarily. The only thing I've done with this since getting it is I put some wheels on it to roll it around, and we drug it into the new shop here because the new shop has a pull-through bay, so we were able to get it in here without damaging the car. Let's dig into it. We're going to learn about this thing together. This being a fancy pants station wagon, it has a power rear window as opposed to a crank. That's going to be kind of hit or miss on whether that works or not. The really difficult part about doing a car like this is that parts are basically unobtainable. They didn't make a lot of them to begin with, and they were not popular cars until very recently. So many of these cars ended up in demo derbies, got the motors pulled out of them, scrapped, etc. So that door's locked. This door is unlocked but does not open. This door is locked, but I know the driver's door opens. Very crunchy and full of desert sand, probably snakes, God knows what. For being a desert car, it's really not in bad condition inside. The interiors they don't fare very well out in the sun. Very interesting. I can't wait to dive in. This would be originally a translucent, like resin coating on the steering wheel. It's long since disintegrated into nothingness. This car has a Cruise-O-Matic automatic. Mercury called it something else. I don't remember what. Dig all these switches and buttons and just the detail on the dash. See, like you want your air conditioning? Boom. That's an ashtray probably. Another AC vent. Boom. The first car I ever drove was a 1962 Ford Country sedan station wagon, which is basically the same platform as this car. This car even smells like that car that I drove at 6 years old. And ever since then, it did something to my brain and rewired it. I'm sure most of us can relate to that experience, right? So this is probably as close as I'm going to get. Frankly, it is a cooler car. Where this car gets really cool at is under the hood. I did peek under here. Wait till you guys see this. Just take that in for a second. Look how untouched this is. The battery is still hooked up. Look at that ancient battery. They haven't looked like that in a very, very long time, my friends. I don't think this thing has been molested in any way. I have yet to touch it, but I did wipe off this sticker back here where you can see that this is a Super Marauder 390. The Super Marauder 390 is Ford's Z-Code 390. Kind of a famous engine. It was your top dog 390. You could get a 427 in these cars, believe it or not. Very rare. As far as a 390 goes, it doesn't get any better than that. It's 300 plus horsepower and 400 some pounds of torque. That is a 4-barrel with factory dual exhaust on the station wagon. How badass is that? We've got air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, big radiator, heavy duty cooling system. Let's get this thing cleaned up just so we can see what we're working with before I even throw a bar on it to see if it spins. And before we do that, we're going to pull the plugs out and oil them up. Not taking any chances here. Try to get this air cleaner off. It's pretty stuck. There we go. Just had to get the dirt out of it, I think. Let's see if its auto light 4-barrel is still here and intact. Oh, sure is. Hell, it looks like a brand new. Looks like some of the interior has made its way up here. That's great. That's about all I can do with the shop vac under the hood. I think we're going to have to pressure wash next. So I think what I'll do in the meantime is I got to get this battery out of here, and it's still held in with the hold down. Let's soak that. Then we really ought to get these doors soaking. I think we can get to the latch through here. We just kind of spray around in there. That might help, because before we can really clean the interior, definitely got to have more than just one door open. When you're taking apart stuff that's been together for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, do you ever think about, like, who was the last guy that touched this battery? I mean, who tightened these battery cables, actually reinstalled the hold down, you know, like, took some care to it? You could tell a lot by just simple things like that. Usually you could tell that I don't care. So don't look too close if you're buying one of my cars, I guess. Oh my God, that thing is a monster. Ugh. Prestolite. Dude, when is the last time you seen one of these things? It's got a crack in it. It must have froze at one time, but it's actually in really good shape. It weighs more than a modern battery, and there's nothing in it. Oh, and they had the little insulators. Oh, I'm going to keep these. I bet we can, yep, we can salvage those. Oh, I'm not throwing that away either. I'm putting that on the shelf. That's because I'm weird. This is going to sound stupid, but didn't Ford use Prestolite batteries? Is there a possibility that that's the original battery for the car? If it was parked in, say, 69 or 70, one of these old batteries will last 5, 6, 7 years, no problem. Because you could just fill them up. You could top them off, keep them going. Like, the case could be original. And I really think Ford used Prestolite. You let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but, I mean, surely some of you guys were around in 1964 and remember. Let me know. I mean, look at that battery tray. Not to go obsessive over the battery part of the car, but, like, this is always gone because they leak. Alright, I'm going to wash this thing off in a second so we can see what the hell's going on, but I wanted to see if it had oil in it. And it surely does. It don't even look bad. It's a 390, so, I mean, unless there's a 3 or 4 rods hanging out of the side of it, the damn thing will run. Dual wielding. Bang, 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 bang. Oh yeah, I'm going to soak everything in super clean. Let that soak for a minute. We'll get the pressure washer over here. That's taking too long. There we go. Well, it's quite a bit cleaner. When it rains in New Mexico, the mud turns into like kinetic sand. You know what I mean? Like the stuff you played with as a kid. It's horrible. And basically what we've done is created a small desert of sand and dirt inside of my shop. There we go. Look at that. It's much, much better. Kind of revealing the black and gold scheme of the Super Marauder 390. Let's pull the plugs out of it, and we'll get the cylinders soaking. And in the meantime, while we let them soak just a little bit, I'll start trying to get the doors open in the thing. I'm noticing some used car salesman techniques. There's some gold overspray on the plug wires where they touched up the valve covers. Oh boy. These plugs are very much attached. Oh boy. Shoot, that's not a good sign. Let's get the plugs soaking in some penetrant. I can't imagine it's that damn rusty. Everything else pretty well seems to work. Seems excessive. Oh hell, it's clean as can be. I was worried for a minute, but look at that. That is a like brand new spark plug. I hope the rest look as good as that, man. We might have a good tight 390. Not sure why they're so stuck in here, but Pop must have had an iron grip when he put them in. Look at that. Oh my god. That is a good burning spark plug. I broke this one, which is unfortunate because we probably could have reused them. But one of you guys sent me into my P.O. box like several sets of brand new old stock Champion F11Y plugs. So we could put correct new old stock plugs back in. My go-to would normally be to fill the cylinders with transmission fluid and let it soak. I don't think that's going to be necessary here, just judging by the plugs. So I'm just, frankly, it makes a huge mess whenever you start spinning the engine over. I don't really want to go there. So I'm just going to take some bog standard penetrating lubricants. I got a couple cans, that'll be enough. Just want to get enough to sit on top of the piston and creep into the rings. And I would look, but my bore scope is broken, so I don't have one. But I just don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I could be wrong. We'll find out. Just taking a little extra effort. Not a lot, just a little. This is still Pole Barn Garage. This isn't Fancy Pants McGee Garage. I hate Fancy Pants McGee Garage. Talk about trash television. Well, the good thing is, I really don't see a lot of poop in here. It's just kind of dirt and dust. We'll be recovering anything worth saving and throwing away quite a bit. That's a piece of trim. Oh, door panel. There we go. See? It's going to be a mess. We're going to have to clean our way to the passenger side where then I can sit somewhat comfortably in the car and try to get that door open. And once we get that done, then maybe we could clean our way into the back of the car. It's going to be a process. We can see here that the car did have seat belts, which were optional in 1964. They were not standard. Well, they may have been standard on a Mercury, but on your run-of-the-mill cars, definitely not standard. Getting the remnants of the headliner out of here, you can see the witness mark from whoever put that in. That's very cool. But they fell on the back seat and really helped preserve it. I mean, it's not great, but it's a damn sight better than the front seat. They kind of covered it up. We got to get all this crap out of here, though. It is very dry, dusty, and overall bad for you, and probably asbestos. See if we can save this floor mat. Looks pretty good. Yeah, it's still soft. Heck yeah, I bet that cleans up. And we're a smoker. We got here filters. Not sure what that is. Newport maybe? What's the ashtray look like? Stuck. Glove box. Oh. Oh. Got a extra transmission modulator valve. Probably. Assuming that's what that means. Yep. Yeah, brand new modulator valve. I wonder if it needs it. Handful of bulbs. My arm just fell through the seat. Brand new thermostat gasket. Huh. But nothing that good in there. The cardboard for the box is in really good shape. That's unusual. I see a hole over here. This window must leak. And you can kind of see where it's been running down and rotting it over time, unfortunately, but that's okay. I am not concerned about that. It's fine. A little rust, it don't bother me. A little screw piece of metal over it and no one will ever know it's there. That's not the level of perfection we're going for. I wiped off the odometer enough to see 16,180. Now, it ain't 16,000 miles, obviously. I mean, yeah, the car's in really good shape, but it's had a lot of things changed, parts replaced, so it's not low mileage. It's 116,000 miles. It's not 216,000 miles because it wouldn't have lasted that long. But at 116,000 miles, she's done for. It's time for a new one, which is probably exactly what they did. Good news, I got all the windows down. That lets me kinda be able to spray towards the latch assembly in here. Just free-balling down in here, hoping we hit something. Does it unlock? Oh boy. Not really. This one, I can hear the lock mechanism disengaging. This one might go. It's like the button's just not going in far enough. Oh. It went in too far. There we go. Ah! Hey! Alright. That's pretty good. I'll take that. Man, that has not been open in a very long time. Dig the crank wing windows. Let's try to get the back doors open. Just looking around in it. I haven't really found anything good in it, unfortunately. Nothing really cool. Not yet, anyway. You can see the wood grain vinyl is still intact. This all would have been wood grain. There's just absolutely no evidence of it left. It all baked off. There. Pair of pliers for a little extra leverage. Nah, not quite. We're getting there. Definitely going to need some new door locks after this. You got that one. Oh. Wow. What's this? Oh, the dome light. Get this floor mat out. This floor mat's in excellent condition. I realized by looking down in here, I can actually see the door latch mechanism. I can soak it pretty deliberately. And I can also see that it is in the locked position. And whenever I'm moving the lock knob, it's trying to disengage. It's just not making it there. But it's moving the stuff and doing the things. I think if we continue to soak it and exercise, it might come around. So, and that would mean I don't have to remove the door panel with it closed, and that would be cool. So I'm going to let that soak. Meanwhile, why don't we turn our attention back to the engine and see if it cranks, I guess. Got a new battery, but I did salvage the terminal protectors off the old battery. Does that matter in the least? No. But it's kind of cool. I don't have any keys for this car, and I was sort of hoping we could find them in the car, but that's not happening, is it? So, I'm just going to jump the solenoid for now, and then once we get the car clean enough, I've got a key switch we can throw in it. Let's see. Oh, no problem. Ah, all right, yeah. Keep spinning, baby. Yeah, definitely not a problem. And the solenoid is good, which is pretty cool. Now I've made a tremendous mess. There's penetrating lube everywhere, but that's okay. At least we were responsible for once. I'm going to let it crank a little more. Oh, dude, it's sparking. Look at that. The points aren't even stuck. Are you kidding me? On a points car, there's a resistor bypass, so points run through a resistor, but when cranking, they receive a full 12-volt source, and that's what the other side of the solenoid is, so whenever it's cranking, it is powering the coil. So if we were to put some gas in it, it would probably run. I don't think I've ever seen anything sit for 50-plus years and not need the points filed. That's crazy. You know, it would figure the one car that I'm like, hey, let's take a little extra time and soak the cylinders and stuff. I literally could have put gas in it and probably just drove it. Like, do the brakes work too? Guys, the dome light is on. The dome lights are on, both of them. You want to live, don't you, baby? Yeah, you're going to be a good car. All 3 dome lights are on. Let's throw some plugs back in it just to get the cylinder sealed up. And we're going to put our good old Made in USA Champion plugs, the same exact plugs that were in it. Conveniently, these old plugs are actually pre-gapped. You think for one damn second that your modern car will be as easygoing as this old hunk of iron in 50, 60 years, you are kidding yourself. This car was built to outlive you, and it will. Just like the refrigerators, the washing machines, the everything. Everything we made back then was better. Where have we gone wrong? And I'm not saying this to preach to the choir. I know the old guys know this, but the young guys don't. They don't understand that Made USA really did used to mean something. Proof. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm making progress. I think my only hope of getting that door open is I'm gonna have to pull the door panel, or I don't know, try. Maybe I could pull like half of it and not screw it up. But before I go clambering around in here, I'm gonna try to clean this seat up, just so I don't get any more disgusting than I am. I wouldn't want to ruin this $14 shirt from polebarnmerch.com. That's right, $14 for this high-vis bad boy here. You say, wow, that seems really cheap. Most YouTubers charge like $30. They do. I'm not like them. 14 bucks. Go get you one, polebarnmerch.com. Yes, I'm using glass cleaner for this. I don't figure it matters all that much. Although, it's cleaning up really well. You guys are probably all sorts of pissed off at me for messing with this door instead of getting it to run. But, look, the car's a keeper, you know. I mean, getting it to run isn't the only thing I'm worried about, but I'll try not to bore you to death here. Alright, I got half the door panel free, but I can't get the front half free because it's behind the B-pillar. I'm just hoping I can move it enough out of the way. There we go. Maybe I can get my hand in there? Finally got it. It wasn't unlocked all the way, but with pulling the door panel, I was able to get it. And I was able to pull the door panel without too much damage. Just this corner got a little bent. We could fix that. I just had to pull the B-pillar cover, and that gave me just enough room. But all 4 doors open and shut. Pretty good. So the next thing we need is to kind of get the tailgate open, right? And I don't have keys, which is very unfortunate. However, there's another way to do it. There's a switch on the dash that can roll down the back window, assuming the wiring is intact. However, I don't have keys to the car at all. So it makes sense for us to go ahead, put a key tumbler in it, new keys, then we'll be able to have a key switch. Maybe we can see if we can get it to bark off, make some noise, get the back window down. Slowly get the revival process flowing. Flowing well. That's what we want. We want to keep a good constant flow in the battle here, and that's how you can get a car done in a week or so. So I got a new key switch here, or the tumbler, I guess. And the way these old ones work is you turn the key to the accessory position, and you take a pick tool or a paper clip or whatever. What you want to do is push the pin, and then it lets you rotate the cylinder to a secret position, past accessory. Unfortunately, when you don't have keys, you can't do that. So you have to get this thing to spin. So you can do that, which means drilling, beating, prying, destroying. But on this car, the whole dash is die-cast chrome. We got to be a little delicate in the way we go about this. This is me being delicate. There. See, it's starting to work. These are not exactly theft-proof automobiles. Things escalated. You'll note that I have an ignition switch here. I got it out, but when I got it out, the whole thing went boom and blew apart. So I got a new one of those coming tomorrow. Well, since I don't have keys, I'm jumping out the switch, just trying to see what works. And the horn does. headlights come on. Well, headlight comes on. But again, I'm just trying to get that rear window to go down. So let me see if I can get power onto this window switch. And then we can see if we can get it to roll down. I fiddled around with my Grand Theft Auto mess down there. And now we've got turn signals. We've got blower motor. No radio. Not yet, anyway. Give it a minute. Sometimes these guys have got to warm up a little. No clock. Cigarette lighter. It works. Wipers are electric on this, or are they vacuum? Yeah, they're definitely electric under the dash. So no wipers, and more importantly, no rear window. I occasionally hear it trying to do something, and this switch is very floppy and very loose. I kind of wonder if it's not this. I need to verify that I actually have power on it, and we'll go from there. So there is some power coming out of that switch. I can only get to one side of the terminal, and it's sending like 2 volts. So I think the switch is probably bad. I found the pigtail for it, which is really handy. It's right here. So if I just take that off and jump it, maybe we can force this window to roll down. This is somewhat bizarre. We've only got about 2.2 volts going in to the switch. So it isn't the switch. Obviously, 2 volts isn't going to roll down a window. So let me just jump it again with this wire. Let's hit it with 12. See what that does. There it goes. I heard it. It tried. I don't know which way it's trying to go. It's drawing quite a bit of amperage. I could weld with that. Well, there's only one other thing we could do now, and that's crawl back there and pull the panel off and get a look at it inside of the gate. At least that works. It's kind of glued itself down, but there. So hopefully that panel is removable with the gate closed. Sometimes they're not. Yeah, it looks like you can get to most of the screws, but not the very bottom ones. I swear to God. I open this up and there's like a big old rattlesnake or something in here. I'm just glad that most of the hardware comes out. Thank God for desert cars. I am going to be so disgusting after this. I might be able to pry it down enough. Oh boy. There's 2 more screws in the corner, and that may be all that's holding me up, but you can't get to them. Okay, I can't really see a lot in here, but I can see that the motor doesn't look particularly good. So, that's bad. I don't know what to do about this. I mean, it's not a super high priority, but it sure would be nice. That motor is super bad looking. Looks like it's been very hot. Well, today's video is brought to you by AGZ, and after a long day of working on that station wagon, I like to relax, chill out, put on my robe, and have an AGZ. Helps me relax from a stressful day of working on rusty garbage. AGZ comes in 3 wonderful flavors. They got chocolate mint, and a berry flavor that I really enjoy, but I think my favorite is the chocolate mint. AGZ is non-habit forming. There's no melatonin in it. Melatonin gives me wild dreams. This doesn't. It gets your body ready for sleep. You know, it kind of helps you get ready for sleep. It doesn't make you fall asleep. So it just helps your body naturally do its thing. Froth the AGZ. Yes. Now, if you use my code, you're going to get a free frother with your first order of AGZ. Use my code right here, click the QR code, try AGZ today. I think you're gonna like it. I love it, take it every night. Let's get back to working on the wagon in the morning. Update for you this morning. I got a new ignition switch in. You know, the old one broke. It works. It cranks anyway. Back on the window front back here, I have made some progress. I got my power probe out. So I've unplugged the window motor, in here. And we can see that it's trying to work. It's just stuck. I got Dad coming over to give me a hand with that rear window. Meantime, while I wait for him to get here, I think I'm gonna put some gas down the throat and just see if it pops and burbles, makes noise, you know. Maybe I'll try to fill the bowls of this auto light. Well, that was tough. You can't kill these things, man. I got the bowl filled pretty good that time. Got oil pressure. Smoking a bit. It is charging. It's actually idling. It's a little chattery, but it's not too bad. That is crazy. I am going to pour a fair amount of Marvel Mystery Oil into the crankcase. So it just sounded like there was a lifter just kind of tapping, kind of stuck, you know. And this oil is plenty clean to run on, at least for a little bit. We'll give it plenty of Marvel and basically use it like an engine flush. I've had pretty good luck with it. That carburetor actually ran okay. I mean, it was running on its own. It was running out of the bowl. I'm going to try it again. And also remember, this is 2-stroke gasoline. Little extra lube, yes, but also it's not going to run exactly perfect. Already sounds better. Still got a tap. Dad's here, and let's see if he pries down, if we can get this window to go down. There it goes. Whoa, okay, hang on. Hey, there's a window here now. This won't open yet, will it? It's got to be all the way down, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be all the way down.
I'm going to run out of room to be able to put my power probe in here. Something's wrong with the wiring in the car.
Can you find where the wire runs from?
Yeah, it's in here somewhere. I'm going to just try to go as far as I can with this. It'd be a lot easier if we could get it down. Okay. Bad out of room.
I'm moving the handle.
Yeah, it's doing stuff. It's moving them. Got it. Yeah.
Just stuck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, the piss out of this thing.
Yep. Well, it probably hadn't been opened in...
I mean, that's just caked in silt from all those years out in the desert.
Oh, that's awesome, though. That's...
Isn't that cool?
I wanted that so bad.
Is that a back seat?
I don't know. I think it's a cargo area. But that'd be where the spare is.
It's still there.
Wing nut.
Yeah, it's well with the stud.
Yeah, those are always gone.
Got a washer.
Oh.
It's got the spare thing on. That's what it is. That's brand. And look at a fuel pump.
Whoa! Holy shit! We're probably going to need that and a fuel filter. That's a brand new fuel pump. Oh, that's cool. That's a good frame.
It's not full of shit. It's not full of mice. It's not full of nothing.
Look how solid it is. There's no rust.
That's holding air.
You could drive on that.
That is holding air.
It's tiny.
Yeah, 325H14. Look at this. Look at this.
I know the chain. Oh, that's what that's for?
Yeah.
Oh. God, that's cool.
Yeah, I remember that on Mom and Dad's Mercury. Yeah, that thing probably screws clear to the floor. can't even the jacket. Oh my God! Still the
Look at that.
polybutyrate plate.
Oh my God.
Lots of spiders.
Yeah. Good to clean it out anyway. Oh, look how deformed that is. It's been in there so long.
Yeah, I don't think you've grown.
No. And it's got air in it. It looks like that. We're just messing around with it, seeing what works and what doesn't. We just had the air conditioning trying to turn on. And we'll see if it goes into gear.
Yep, goes in gear. Okay. Most of that part's okay.
Yeah, I think transmission works. And this compressor, it's like running intermittently, but it's trying to do something. I see the accelerator pump starting to leak, so I think I'll throw some gaskets in the car, but I bet it doesn't need nothing too crazy. I'm trying to get this window back up, and it seems like the motor has shorted. Seems like it's going to ground each time. And I can't get to it because it's behind the glass. Brilliant design by Ford. I know, you should just make the thing drive, but I want the damn tailgate to work. Any car guy out there is going to understand that this is 1,000 times harder than getting that thing to run and drive. I was able to pop the rollers off of the track. Now I can get the window out. They were very jammed in there. These are pretty generic Ford stuff, so I think we'll be good there. They were just stuck, but there's no way to lubricate them unless you pull the window. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I pulled the regulator out, and I really want to fix this, or I have to buy a window crank thing. It's like $300. I will make the car run and drive eventually, I promise. It ran and moved. What more do you want? It's practically revived. I just want to make this motor work is all. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna ground the motor separately through my power probe. See, now it's trying to do something. There it goes. All right, so with this out, I should be able to work it and ground it, and I'm learning. There we go. It's not very good. I mean, that's a fact. It's definitely not functioning the way it's supposed to. See, we're working now. It's doing it. It just needed to run a lot. And it works pretty good. However, I've gotten the two halves of the regulator completely out of sync and really fucked things up. That's great. Good job, Dalton, you fucking moron. Alright, hang on there. Line them up. God, a service manual would be good for this. There we go. That should be it. That's pretty close. Cool. So when you have the regulator out of the car, you can actually you can run the motor past the gears and it won't work anymore. That seems about right though. It's working pretty consistently now. It was kind of hit or miss, but it ain't bad. Okay, now I'm willing to move on to something else. Because we can't put this back together until I get new rollers for the window. Once I get that, then it's back to my arch nemesis, the tailgate window regulator motor assembly, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm not taking it personal or anything. Alright, let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get this thing mechanically very functional. So where I'm going to start here is probably just kind of disassembling all the components off the front of the engine. I gotta tell you, I got a plan for this car. Remember how we drove that 60 Ford station wagon to the beach and it didn't really work out that well? We'll try it again with this car, but let's take a little extra time on it and make sure she's buttoned up. So what that's going to entail is we need to really thoroughly check out the cooling system of the car. Unfortunately, a lot of Southwest cars, the cooling systems are just destroyed. I'll be honest with you, it actually looks very, very clean. Let's start by draining the coolant. See if the petcock works. Be pretty cool if it did. Yep, it does. And there is, in fact, coolant in it, and it doesn't look bad at all. It's very, very clean, and it smells like glycol. Yeah, that is definitely green antifreeze. That's huge, and somewhat rare for Southwestern cars. Get my scalpel here and surgically remove the radiator hoses. Oh yeah, you could break glass with that baby. I'm gonna get the radiator out first, and that'll give us a little more room to breathe in here. Still in beautiful condition. Let's see, I don't really see how this shroud bolts on. I guess I gotta pull the fan first, don't I? Alright, we can do that. Trying to get this expansion tank out of the way, which doubles as the thermostat housing. There we go. Yep, there's the mess. Oh, damn it. God. On an FE, your fill port is the expansion tank. The expansion tank is this thing. I'm going to try to get the thermostat out of it and see what it looks like. It is a Ford part number, 1963. That's the original thermostat. Which means if it works, it's probably better than anything you could possibly buy now. But with this out of my way, I can get to that fan a lot easier. Here's our thermostat. It is all brass. It's not steel. Heavy-duty fan clutch. And it's bad. Well, not bad. Could use a new one. Transmission cooler lines are going to take a little bit of heat. It's pretty stuck. Kind of really stuck. Did I get it? I got it. It only cost me my elbow. A small price to pay. God damn. That fan shroud is a safety hazard. I took off 3 layers of skin with that baby. Get this radiator hose off of here. See if I can't dismember myself further. That would be great. I know, like, see this mess here? Like how everything is on top of each other? I know it seems dumb that I'm doing all this pretty much just so I could change a fuel pump, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I can do everything at once, check it all out, put new belts on it, new hoses. Okay, it appears that, yes, the fan shroud bolts to the radiator. Interesting. Alright, well I got one of these now. Now you can see my reasoning. Everything's right here in front of us. Should be pretty easy to take care of now. I don't think we got to pull the AC compressor, which is nice, but definitely going to pop that power steering pump out of the way to get to the fuel pump, which is in there. This radiator seems totally fine, honestly. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay. However, because I am planning on making another beach voyage in the wagon, and I'm not even sure when, but at some point, I picked up a really nice Champion 4-row aluminum radiator. We might go ahead and put that in just as an upgrade. It'll cool a little bit better. Well, it won't cool any better than a brass radiator, but it might cool better than a brass radiator that's full of crap. I feel bad about putting any aftermarket parts on this car, but that might be one worth doing. This bypass hose here is actually split, I think. No, it doesn't look very good any way you cut it. So it looks like the water pump's got to come off. This water pump is trashed. Yeah, we're going to need a new one of those. Let's start taking bolts off until things fall off of it. Alternator's stuck on there pretty good. believe 64 is the first year for an alternator on Ford cars. So that's a pretty major bonus, besides the fact that it works. One water pump. Go. Look, with the water pump out of the way, you can get to the fuel pump. That's where we're going to start our replacement journey. It doesn't look bad, but I am going to give this thing just a quickie garden hose flush to get all the old coolant out. Even a little bit of coolant that's left in there is probably acidic by now, and that's not going to do good things for the rest of the cooling system. It doesn't look dirty or rusty or anything. This will probably be adequate. Well, I got a new water pump, and it does fortunately appear to be a direct replacement. I'm gonna coat it black. Factory engine color of this 390 is black with gold valve covers and a gold air cleaner. I'm gonna clean up and paint this stuff before we put a new fuel pump on. That way I get overspray all over the old fuel pump and not the brand new shiny one that we found in the back. Brand new alternator bracket. Yes. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and yank the fuel pump. Might as well get it out of the way so I can clean behind it. But check that out. That's a factory fuel line clamps. They're just a piece of wire. Just crimp them right on. And the original fuel hose is still here. It sounds like metal. Yeah, I'll go ahead and mount that. I think we really need to blow through this fuel line. It was broken, so, you know, there could be snakes, tarantulas living inside of that fuel line, and we're going to have to, you know, make sure it's free and clear. God, I love desert cars. The bolts just come right out. I bet you $1. This fuel pump's not even bad. Oh, it is bad. It's very junk. Well, good. Not a total waste of time, then. And right now, here's where everyone who's never actually put a car together is going to say, why don't you just take the engine out, rebuild it, spend $40 million on it, and the rest of your life? Well, you see, there's nothing wrong with it. It runs, so we're just going to use it as is because there's nothing wrong with it. We do this the way you do it at home, which is you work with what you got, make it as good as you can. This one's getting made a little extra good, but it's still going to be well within a reasonable budget. Get our new fuel pump mounted. I'm going to go ahead and get the water pump put on. I'm going to put just a thin coat of RTV to hold the gaskets on. And on an FE, it's important to remember that the lower two bolts of the water pump actually go into the water jacket, so put a little thread sealant or RTV or thread tape, whatever you feel like. Just put something on there to seal the threads up, just so you don't have a little weepy leak. Let these kind of set up for a minute. And I'm going to go clean the bolts for the water pump very thoroughly. I'll be right back. Something you may or may not know is that through the 60s, Ford made their own bolts. They're stamped with an F. They kind of have a unique look to them. Kind of interesting. That's how I know that one of the bolts in the water pump wasn't original. This guy does not look like the other three. Looks like I cut that bypass hose about the right length. That's good. There we go. Back for another day of working on this whole thing, and I gotta tell you, every day I wake up and I'm like, yeah, let's go work on the car, because I'm stoked about this. So I've been tinkering with it a little bit. I went ahead and I cut the fuel line off of the tank. Still had its original one-time use clamps on the rubber hose. I want to go ahead and blow through the front to rear fuel line. Then we can hook it to the fuel pump, and then we can kind of start reassembly. I'm just going to fish my way down to the fuel line. And don't really know what's going on back there. I'm going to put you guys back there. You let me know if it's blowing free and clear or not. The fuel line's up in there somewhere. We should be able to hear it or maybe see some dust blowing around. I didn't really notice anything, at least from the video. So I guess I'll zip tie my air gun on and crawl under there. I think it might be plugged though. I got her set on automatic now. Oh yeah, it's working. I can hear it. It's kind of hard to get under here. Sorry guys. Oh yeah. Blowing really good. Well, I'm going to hook it back up to the fuel pump over there. Then I'm going to start buttoning up the accessories. I decided to go ahead and change this fan clutch because it felt kind of iffy. And I got two, and one of them's the heavy duty and one of them isn't. We'll see which one fits. Let's see which one of these looks right. That one is a lot bigger. That might be the heavy duty. Maybe maybe it isn't a heavy duty fan. Maybe it's just standard. No, they're both the same size. What the hell's the difference? One of them's got a spring and one of them doesn't. I'm going to put the one with the spring on it because I think that would be an upgrade or something. Oh God. Oh God, I'm going to mix them up. Whatever. That's their problem. Sorry, O'Reilly. I'm going to properly torque this by turning my impact down to 2. I guess it's not factory anymore, but it does feel a lot better. Well, I was really hoping to use this old thermostat gasket that was in the back, but it's kind of crappy now. So we're going to load a new thermostat in it, I guess. Sometimes it's a little helpful. You take some RTV and actually glue the thermostat in on a Ford since they go in sideways instead of using gravity to help hold them in. They like to slip out and leak all over the place. Ask me how I know. Plug it in. It'll kind of help hold that thermostat in place. Then you glue the gasket in, and that also helps hold the thermostat in place. Let that set up for just a minute, and then we'll put it on the car. I think I am going to put the aluminum radiator in this thing, but I don't want it to look like aluminum. We're going to try to paint it with some black header paint. Looks like it's working fairly well, actually. This stuff says it's good for 1300 degrees or whatever, so should hold up on there. And it'll look a heck of a lot better instead of being shiny aluminum. I like that in some cars, but not this one. It's a station wagon, not a hot rod. I got to find one more sheet metal clip to get this fan shroud bolted to it, so I'm going to go hunt for one of those while we let this dry. I don't know if painting the fins of your radiator has any negative effects, but I suppose we'll find out. Lately, I've been getting all my radiators from RadiatorExpress.com. Not a sponsor, I just kind of found them, and they're batting pretty good. Like the mounts and everything on this, it's got holes in the right places. Like, we all know how much of a struggle it is when you get on Amazon or something, right, and look for a radiator for your car, and there's 400 of them, and they all say they fit everything, but they don't fit anything, you know? Radiator Express sells the same kind of cheap radiator, or a really good one. Yeah, they have high quality options too. But like, this was a champion radiator. Well, the difference is Radiator Express actually compiles everything, and they have really good fitment notes on what fits what, and this model with air conditioning, and this model without, and this one with this size of core, and this one without. And for my Torino, there was like 5 different possible radiators for that car. And I went ahead and upgraded it to an aluminum recently off camera. And I bought one from them. It dropped in, bolted in, fan shroud bolted up. I didn't have to modify or change a thing. And that is so uncommon when it comes to cheap radiators like this. There's usually nothing wrong with the radiators. It's just, you know, they don't fit. One radiator. Maybe. How well does it fit? Pretty impressive. I gotta say, that fits really, really well. Transmission lines line up. Gotta get a lower hose on it. It's looking pretty good. I mean, this whole bit here is looking really nice. I can't wait to get the rest of the engine looking that good. Much to Mortsky's delight, we will replace the flexi hoses with regular radiator hoses. We're going all expenses on this baby, if you can't tell. I mean, spray paint, actual hoses. I mean, I reuse the hose clamps because I'm not freaking Rockefeller, but, you know, you guys get what's going on here. We're not cutting no corners. I mean, other than the corners we're going to cut. Let's try to slip our refurbished fan down in here. I should have waited to put that expansion tank on, I guess. There we go. Yeah, no harm, no foul. This is the worst fan I've ever had to bolt on in my life. Quarter turn at a time, and the bolts are over 1.5 inches long. I'm going to have to show you guys in a second. Again, there's ain't no sponsorship here, but when I find a good product, man, I want to tell you, and this is hands down the best fitting aftermarket radiator I've ever installed. I had to modify absolutely nothing. It bolted in, the fan shroud doesn't rub, and that's a fan shroud that bolts to the radiator. All the mounts line up, all the mounts work, it ain't going anywhere, and it's a bigger radiator. If you were just walking by and glanced at it, you would never even notice it. That's crazy. And it wasn't that expensive. It was like $260 or so. That looks damn near factory. I mean, you would never know unless you looked real close. That's pretty cool. I mean, just that's bolted to the radiator. Oh, I need to tighten the lower bolts, but you get my drift. That's pretty good. Thankfully, this AC belt tensioner seems to be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to guess you'd probably never find one of those. Next step is pop the carb off. We're going to pop the valve covers off also and change all the remaining hoses. There's a fair amount of heater hoses in these cars, these 390s, and I think all 60s Fords. They ran the coolant through the base plate of the carburetor to help warm up the carburetor in the wintertime. We'll get the carb off and end up cleaning it out and going through it as well. This heater hose is routed directly against the choke housing for a reason. It helps warm up the bimetallic spring that's in here. This tube goes to the exhaust manifold, and it is snapped off of the manifold as usual. But this is all it does is just suck in hot air, basically. Naturally, heat rises, it climbs up the tube, goes in here, and along with the radiator hose, it heats up this spring, which opens your choke eventually. And as I remove things, I will be detailing, some gold spray paint goes a long way for little hardware and return springs like this. It'll just kind of pop and look decent in there. Gold or silver, pick your poison, but it's got to be one of those, shiny. You want your chrome in a can, These Autolites are excellent carburetors. One nifty thing about them is you can remove the top plate of the carburetor and run the car. There's no vacuum orifices below that, just 2 fuel bowls. So if you have to diagnose something, you can adjust your floats on the fly with the car running just by removing the top plate. Kinda handy. Also, the asbestos shielding for the choke heat riser is still intact, and that's kind of cool too. You very rarely see that. Usually that's mouse food. All those mice that got mesothelioma. Damn it. Almost there. This one is 1/8 of a turn at a time. You can almost get it. And I can feel the wagon getting impatient. It says, "You fixed my cooling system. That was a problem, but I'm ready to go. I'm telling you, just get in. Let's go. Let's go on a road trip. Let's take the kids across the country. Let's go see Yellowstone. Let's drive through the redwoods. Let's do all the things that the station wagon was born to do." And I can feel it, and I'm saying, all right, just dial her back just a hair now. And I understand you'd probably be just fine, but we should just take a little extra precaution. You've been sitting a while. It's been a long nap, and it says, no, we gotta go. We gotta go right now. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's hit the road, Jack. And I'm with it. I'm trying to keep it at bay, but the wagon, it just wants to go. It wants to live. It wants to feel the asphalt under its tires again. Route 66 and all the adventures that 117,000 miles of driving this car did in a very short time. Imagine how many places it went. So I get where it's coming from. I really do. They don't make them like this anymore, and they haven't for a very, very long time, probably 40 years. or more. Honestly, cars of the 70s are nothing compared to these cars. This car is built with quality being the #1 priority. The fit and finish on it is nearly perfect. The 390 is basically indestructible. The FMX, well, Cruise-O-Matic transmission that's in it, also pretty well indestructible. The 9-inch rear end in it, legendary. You know, they built a car here. It's practically a tank. You know, is an M1 Abrams more or less reliable than a 1964 Mercury Colony Park station wagon? I'm probably rolling the station wagon into battle, if I'm being honest. We're going to do our due diligence here, okay, wagon? Just, you got to trust me, all right? Have a little trust, all right? I'm not a professional, but I know my way around you guys. Here we are, one auto light. For some reason, Ford felt it necessary to bolt the vacuum advance line onto the carburetor in this era. I don't know why they did that. This one is particularly difficult to get to. It's right here on the side. That is absolutely the factory carburetor gasket, and it is paper thin. It's wild. Never seen one of those. This vacuum hose is kicking my ass. It's like it's made out of concrete, I swear to God. Come on. It won't even break. It's just so dry. There. I'll clean this up real good. These really like to rot because they're steel pressed into aluminum. But they're in very good shape. It has another carb spacer on it. 3 carb gaskets required for this. Yet another one that specifies up. If you're ever trying to remove old hoses that are attached to, say, completely unobtainable heater cores, take the clamp off, then take a razor blade and split that hose, and then peel it away from the fitting. Don't flex it or move it or anything. You'll end up cracking the nipple off of your heater core, or at the very least, putting a little hairline crack in it, and suddenly you have a floorboard full of antifreeze. But if you just peel them off, generally it's not a problem. This is very early PCV stuff here. See that guy back there? It's your PCV valve. And he comes up here, and the carb sucks on him right here. 64, is 64 the first year for PCV, or was that optional maybe? Or is it a Mercury thing? I want to say it didn't come around on everything until 66. Maybe the car's from California. Because where that's actually mounted, that's where a road draft tube would go. It'd just be a tube that ran down below the engine. As you drove along, it would kind of, suck the blow-by out of the out of the crankcase right onto the road. I'm going to clean up the intake and everything that needs to be painted black first, and then we'll paint that. Then we'll pull the valve covers off, clean them separately, and paint them. That way we don't fill the engine full of rust and dust and stuff. Brand new, freshly rebuilt, 0 miles. Actually, 17,000 original miles on this engine, if you can believe it. I mean, really. I mean, just look at it. It's still got the black paint on it. Yes, that's right. Yeah, they just bake really hard out there in New Mexico, eBay special right here, baby. Yeah, I really should have painted the heads before I put the plugs in, but oh well. No going back now. I couldn't possibly pull them back out. Just got to be careful. This comes with experience. Being able to paint around spark plugs, that's the sign of a true used car salesman. It was always my dream job, and I trained for many years, but never quite made it to the big leagues, All right, now we just got to yank valve covers and get them painted up gold. And I have to remove this AC support to get to this one, I think. But I don't have to move the compressor, which is really nice. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to clean that up. Put that back in place. Okay. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. No. We're just going to ignore everything we're seeing in here. She might have missed a few oil changes, maybe 7 or 8 or 12. Oh my God. It's bad. Well, the good news is those are definitely original valve cover gaskets. Wow. That is an incredible amount of sludge. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about that, short of disassembling everything. You could tell it was pumping oil, and that's all we can ask it to do. I didn't see that coming. I mean, there's like no oil on the outside of it. It just all stayed on the inside, I guess. I'm just going to try to suck up the big chunks, and we're going to call it good enough. Huh. Well, I think it needed a gasket. How am I even going to clean? It's going to be a mess. I'm going to strip these things and get them cleaned up, but don't cry about these stickers. I got new ones coming. But I want you to notice something. See how that sticker's not straight? See how it's put on there crooked? It's because it was put on by a person on an assembly line. Quickly, bam, another one in probably another 10, 20 seconds. And whenever I get my new ones, I'm going to put it on there crooked. Here's one, cleaned up nice. Real light coat at first, and then we'll start laying it on. Let's get a few coats of lipstick on this piggy, and we'll call it a night. This gold doesn't cover for shit. It takes like 50 coats just to get anything to stick. Back at it today, and after sleeping on it, I'm going to go ahead and pull these rocker shafts out of here and clean them up, clean the push rods up. But that's it. I'm not going any further than that. But I want to make sure this top end is oiling. It's really not a big deal on the FE. It's just a shaft. You just take it out and you just bolt it back in. And as I unbolt things, I'm going to be throwing them in a bucket. A bucket of super clean. There we are. I don't have a parts washer, but I got a bucket, by God. Yep. Okay, yeah, I guess. It's probably a good idea. And we'll get our little guide plate thing out, clean it too. Get this stuff soaking even more in the bucket. Super Clean will do a pretty good job of that, but it's very caustic, so wear gloves. I'm gonna pull push rods out, get a gander at them. Let's see if any of them are bent. We'll have to do the roll test. I'm just gonna roll it. See if it rolls flat. It's fine. I'm gonna try to keep these in order, and we'll clean them up too. If I put them in this bolster here, these are kind of handy for keeping them in order. You know, working on cars is basically like doing dishes, except a lot more expensive. See, the only reason I would say I don't really feel like doing this generally is because you know the rest of the engine looks exactly like this. So does cleaning this really help? I don't know, but maybe. Cleans up pretty good. Making solid progress. There's our push rod guide plate. Rocker shaft is looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Look how good that Super Clean works. Just sitting in there, basking in the goo. They're already most of the way clean. The push rod's pretty cleaned off. I had to take these to the bench grinder and use the wire wheel to get them pretty good, but they all look straight. They all are clean. Should work just fine as long as I can get them landed on the lifter. We're just going to ignore the rest of this, and at least we tried. We did something, you know. We could feel good about it, kind of. Oh my, yeah. The deeper I look in there, I shouldn't have brought a flashlight over. Shouldn't have done that. Nope. Should have just said, yeah, it's beautiful. It's not. I think there's really only one thing to remember with these FEs. There's one of these bolts that's longer than the others. It goes in this one here. which is countersunk to let oil past. I think that's the only real trick. That, and you got to kind of tighten in stages, just like anything else. But let me get this started. Get all the push rods in. Then you slowly start to tighten all of them. You want to get them all finger tight, and then eventually work your way up to like 45 foot-pounds. Idea here is to just kind of get them level, right? All right, one side down. Now let me get the other one going. Got that other rocker shaft in there soaking, so let's go ahead and get this valve cover back on. New valve cover gaskets seem to be slightly oversized, but I think they'll work. I'm not going to put any silicone on them because shouldn't need it. It's cork gasket. It should just squeeze down and work. When you tighten a stamped steel valve cover, don't overdo it. Get them all finger tight, or like how you can run your ratchet with your thumb and your forefinger. Just get them close, snug, and then you're going to go back and hit them all with like half a turn or so, and that's going to be perfect. Don't over tighten them. That's how you get leaks. Well, the upper end of the engine is put back together. I'm going to go through the carburetor, even though it ran fairly decent. Let's just throw some gaskets at it, accelerator pump. There's not much to these auto lights. You see how few parts the rebuild kit even comes with. JD's here. Why don't you clean up that carb spacer and the heat riser thing, wherever that went. We had to go get half-inch hose or whatever to fit that PCB port. Yeah, clean those up really good because that's a coolant passage, and I actually think it might be plugged. Yeah, blow on it. Be good for you. Not plugged.
It's not plugged.
That's good. There's one other thing. I don't know if you want to do this. We got enough of this weird half-inch hose. You could probably replace these two sections here.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're probably not even bad, but that's for the PCB valve. And as cruddy as the engine looked, I wonder how packed full of crap that pipe is of sucking in oil.
Yeah. And then spray it out, maybe.
Yeah. It's more comfortable than I'm used to working on a carburetor. There's not much to these auto lights. There's a top gasket, and everything's right in here. You get your float set, and you put it back. The carb stud on Autolite and Motorcraft carburetors actually holds the carburetor together. It's got to come out of there. Let's see, we should be good, other than the choke linkage. That is a tiny little cotter key down in here. They're really good at flying anywhere except for where you can find it, so just use some caution. Let me go ahead and remove this plastic choke housing here. We'll probably have to set it for Missouri weather. There we go. And we can just kind of set that off to the side. It doesn't have to come all the way off. Not for the just quick refresh that we're doing. This is a bimetallic spring. It's just a coil of spring inside this housing. And that little loop sits on top of this arm. And this spring heats up, it expands and pushes this little loop around, which opens the choke. So as the engine warms up, the choke opens. Voila. And here is your Autolite carburetor. Like I said earlier, this carburetor can be ran without the top. Without that piece on there, you can run this carburetor and make your adjustments on the fly. You can see a good amount of dirt inside of the bowls here. We're going to have to clean that out. I'm going to go ahead and pull the booster assemblies. Just want to make sure all the orifices are clean, blow them all out, and new gaskets, toss it back together. So there's a check ball under the primary booster. You got to watch for on these. Dump it out, be careful, voila, little check ball. It is not steel, so a magnet doesn't get it out. Your carb kit comes with a new one, just don't forget it. I mean, here's basically what I do with any carburetor. I just flush them and get, blow the passages out. There we go, that one was kind of stuck. And, do that and Just flush everything out with brake clean, carb cleaner, your chemical of choice. The needle and seats in these are gigantic slotted screwdriver things. Like, my biggest screwdriver wouldn't fit, but this pry bar fits pretty good. The new ones are hex head, which is more traditional, but these early auto lights are a little bit different than the later ones. And that's your seat. So we'll flush everything out and then change that. You can check our booster action by shooting through the jet ports. See the boosters, the Venturis. Congratulations, you've learned freshman year physics. This is called the Venturi effect. As air passes through this cone shape here, it funnels down to a higher velocity. Fuel fills the bowl here. It sits about halfway full, right? The jets are at the bottom. As air passes through here, the fuel is sucked up and through the boosters and atomized so that it can burn. Put JD on cleaning the PCV system, and yeah, probably good call.
Yeah, I think so.
That's nasty. Did you get it out of the end? You did?
Yeah, I was just putting on the hose and it popped off. I didn't think it would, but...
Does it just press in there?
Yeah.
There's no valve? There has to be something.
The valve's right here, isn't it?
No.
No.
Well...
That, I tried to
You
take
think
it off,
that's a
but
check valve? It might be
so.
a check valve. Maybe.
I blew through it and cleaned it.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Maybe poke your finger into the back of the block there and see what's in
what's in
See
there.
if you feel anything. I changed this needle and seat. The new ones are an updated design. A little bit different, but it still works the same as far as I can tell. Fuel go up, shut off fuel, fuel go down, let fuel in. Hope so. Yes, let me get my screwdriver here. Seems a little excessive. It's just a giant flat blade slot with very little reinforcement. I see why they updated the design. I just tried to pull the mixture screws out and that just snapped right off. So it didn't move, so I'm just going to say it's adjusted.
Okay.
And we'll leave that one alone. At least it's plugging the hole. I think every other bolt on here is zinc plated so that it wouldn't do that. But it should have been set pretty close. It didn't run bad, and it idled. So how bad can it be? What are you doing?
Pushing the thing back in. There is no ball in there.
Huh, okay. Well, it
I
must
don't
be
know
in
where it
that
is.
thing on the intake then.
Yeah.
Good enough. Unfortunately, this thing takes special carburetor gaskets. They should be here tomorrow. So we can't actually put it on, but we can maybe look at the rest of the fuel system. Never even looked to see if you could put gas in the thing, and it's got a locking cap, of course. Try not to dent the car, but see if it'll pry off. Usually they just pop off. Almost. Shit. There you go. Well, what do you think? Run it?
I'm going to spray in this line here and see if I can hear it.
All right, I'll listen up here.
I hear it.
I can smell varnish coming out up here. Sounds pretty empty.
Yeah.
I'm down to try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
JD's going to replace the hose we took off earlier on the fuel tank side. Then we can put some fuel in it. I'm plugging along here. I've got my float set. One thing for you to know here, whenever you adjust a float, you want to bend this tang right here where the needle goes. Never bend the float. So if you need to make an adjustment, you hold the float at the bottom of the bowl. This goes for almost every carburetor. Hold that down and then you bend this to change the angle of the float. Like this carburetor here, it wants 21/32 of an inch with the needle seated. So you close it, hold your little ruler up there and get close enough. I mean, if you're off a little bit, it'll be all right. Put a new accelerator pump in here. Have to update the diaphragm to the later model diaphragm. JD's going to put some gas in the thing, see if it comes out on the ground. But wait, JD. We got another package from our friend, Mr. Burr with Motor Purr. This is really good stuff. Got more of this stuff. Ooh. Another case. I asked him specifically for the fuel injector cleaner. This Motor Purr is good stuff. I'll put a link in the description for you. Really good stuff. And I think we should, this will kill varnish in fuel. I think we should double the dose.
Double the dose, okay.
Yeah, put that in first. At least one. Put one in now. And then the gas will kind of slosh and mix around since it's not going to be running right away. This stuff is strong, though. It's got toluene in it or something like that. Really strong solvent. Child-proof cap also. There you go. This is the old formula. This is the good stuff. You used to be able to get it, but now you can again. Check out Motor Purr. I'm a believer in this. I haven't tried all their products, so as we find things that need them, I will be using them. But this stuff's really good. It's probably the best fuel injector cleaner you can buy. And that's 91 non-ethanol. That'll help too. Give it its best chance without dropping the tank. I really don't want to drop the tank.
Yeah.
That would be great. Nope. Got a leak.
Got a leak?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's the filler neck. The fuel filler hose. I'll let you look. It's not bad. It's just dripping.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuel filler?
Yeah.
Well, I guess put it in there and we'll see if it pours out.
We'll see how much pours out, you know.
Nothing yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's leaking pretty good. Better just hold off.
Yeah.
Brand new. Ish. Minus a mixture screw or two. But we can't put it on yet.
No.
We could go ahead and throw a new cap, rotor, and plug wires on it. Get that done. When I move these plug wires out of the way, I made sure to keep them in their separators here. So they kind of, we know where each one goes. I haven't even opened that. It looks great, actually. It could use a cap.
Yeah.
And the rotor's worn, but not that bad. The points are fine. I know they work. I ain't touching them.
Yeah.
I got a new rotor. Here. Here. There you go. And a new cap. In my crate of Rock Auto stuff. New Federal plug wires. They were probably like $3 or something. Yeah, this pole number 1. And then we'll get the one that's closest in length to that because these fit really nice. So I've got them laid out on the fender. What I like to do, get them all facing the same direction. Then you can just kind of hold up the whole bundle. Pick one that's close. That one ain't bad. Looks pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the right one.
Tune-up complete. I got the appropriate carburetor mounting gaskets, I think. I drilled a couple holes to match the holes that were in the original ones. I think that lets the PCV actually work. I'm going to go ahead and get the heater hoses ran, get all that done, then we'll plop our carb on. It's hot as hell again today. I tell you, I mean, for September, this is crazy. I'm ready for fall, you know. I'm not a pumpkin spice girl, but I'm down with that vibe, you know. Let's return the auto light home. Before I put it all the way on, I'm going to get this vacuum advance tightened on the side because it's almost impossible to get to. Alright, all buttoned up. Let's get some coolant in it. Then I guess we got some fuel in the tank and it's hooked up. I think we should try to let it idle. You know, let it run a little bit. And we're going to have to fix that fuel filler hose back there, but we need to let this thing run a little while, circulate that Marvel through the crankcase, and you know, try to get some of the sludge out of it. I'd like to drain the oil while it's nice and hot. That'll get a lot of that gunk out. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Time to see where this pours out of. I should also put some power steering fluid in it. Oh, dang it, I was just at the parts store and I forgot to get Type F transmission fluid. Oh well, I don't think it's that low, and not enough to hurt anything. This is the power steering reservoir on old Ford stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some stop leak in there because it's empty. This is a slave cylinder design, and the slave cylinder on the drag link, those things are just notorious for leaking. A little bit of this Lucas stuff I've found really actually helps. It just softens everything up. It seems to do the trick. It doesn't always fix it, but it gives it a fighting chance, you know. Let me see if I can spill gas all over the place again. Please run. Please just run. That's all I need out of you. Damn neutral safety switch. Squirting plenty of fuel. Did I flood it? See, what did I tell you? I should have left it alone. Now it won't run. I don't know why. That's fine now. Run it off the tank. Sounds like it runs all right. Is it idle? No. Doing it. The fan's rubbing slightly on the shroud. Smoking really good now. I mean, holy crap. Look at all the carbon that blew out of it though. That's just carbon, it ain't oil. It is running on its own. That's a huge win. I don't see any giant leaks. Everything's working so far. It came down off the fast idle on its own. The choke's working. Doing okay. It's still got a little bit of lifter tick, but we've watered this oil down so much with that marble. It's all right. Like, got to give it a chance to come around. Power steering pump's making a racket. Let's see if that works. Yep. Kinda. Put a little water down the throat of the carburetor, knock the carbon off the valves. The water kind of steam cleans, if you will. It's an old trick from the 60s, but it works. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's stuff on fire. That's cool. I don't know if you're supposed to do this while it's running. Probably not. Look at the nice glowing red embers. That's cool. But it is cleaning up. It's sounding better, it's smoother, it's smoking less. Not stop smoking, but smoking less. It doesn't sound bad though. I mean, that thing's idling pretty smooth. You can tell by the funnel. It's hitting on all 8. Get up, baby. Lifter tick is almost gone. I think we flushed the oil and it'll be all right. It's got a temperature gauge. It works. Look at there, it moved. I'll be damned. Our oil pressure is much better than it was the other day. It's a bit right in the middle. It's charging. Fuel gauge doesn't work, it seems. Look at the pinky power steering. Oh my God, that's great. Bleed that out real good. Beautiful. Let's try that air again. Have the air on. Oh my God! What is going on? It's working! But what is that? Okay. That's pulling in the clutch, but why is it on? Does it have a charge? There's no way. I'm gonna turn that off for a second because it's scary. I'm gonna go get a temp gun and see if it's actually doing anything or not. 150, 160, 168 at the thermostat housing. I put a 160 thermostat in it. It's not bad for sitting here sniffing its own farts. No smoke at all anymore. What do we got? Let's see, ambient air, like, I don't know, that wall, 93 degrees. Okay, maybe I got a little ahead of myself, but I swear it feels cooler. We'll turn it off. I think I got that carburetor half-ass close. All right, let's shut her down. That's pretty good though. Oh no! Yep. All right. Let's figure out where that's coming from. Shut it off again. Let's see. Where's the pukage? Maybe it just overfilled. That's very possible. I don't see anything puking now. No. You know, one kind of bizarre thing is I can't find an air filter for this car. The original one, or whatever was in it, actually looks fine, so I'm just going to blow it out and put it back in. Now, I'm sure we'll have to make more adjustments and stuff eventually, but for now, this is fine. Let's get this sucker in the air. And we could start on doing some brakes. We could change the oil. I need to change the oil now while the engine's still kind of warm. Yeah, we still have a little power steering leak somewhere. I'll look for that while I'm here. Looks like someone might have missed the cross member a little. So hopefully that drain plug comes out. Power steering leak is the pump itself. Okay, well, I guess that's, we'll just keep fluid in it until I can find a rebuild kit. Woo! It's going, but there ain't a lot left of that bolt. Come on, goo. Yeah, I mean, it's gross. It's pretty damn gross, pretty damn thin too, so hopefully we did some good for it. I can't even tell what kind of oil filter that is. I mean, that is impressive. And while I'm under here, I'm just peeking and looking at all the bushings and stuff, and I tell you what, they look fine. I mean, they're not the best, but good enough for a little while. Oil filter is spinning right off. That's some luck there. Yuck. That's where the good stuff was. We'll fill her back up with the good stuff, VR1. It's got all the stuff your old engine needs. Not a sponsor. Should be a sponsor, but not a sponsor. And this will probably only be in there for a little while. I'm going to change the oil very, very shortly after probably this video's done. Drive it around, get it nice and hot, circulating again, and drain it again. Brake line roulette is going our way for now. Fun fact, this switch on the master cylinder here is haphazardly extended by Ford right here because it's a power brake car, and relatively few cars were at the time. And B, that switch does your brake lights. It's not actually an idiot light switch. I don't even think this car has one of those. They didn't care if you had brake pressure. In fact, if you don't have brake pressure, your brake lights don't work at all. So if you're stomping like mad, trying to stop, the guy behind you like, what is this guy's problem? You know, he has no idea what's going on. It's probably a good thing they quit doing it that way. So I'm gonna get our line off of here, and this is where buying a desert car is key, because usually the brakes go pretty easy, but I probably just cursed myself. So here we go, time for the pain. Well, that looks remarkably decent. Look at that. It's not even rusty. Something's stuck. I guess the brake pedal itself may be stuck to the floor. So whenever I pushed in that rod, the pedal moved back. Then I pushed the pedal and it got stuck again. So I'm going to lubricate liberally up in here. It's getting better. There's a mechanism on the back of the booster. It's kind of weird feeling. It's got like a cantilever on it. I think it's froze. This doesn't seem like the right way to do this. But that is sticking out way too far. I can't get the master cylinder on. I mean, I can, but it's compressing the master cylinder, which that's not what we want. That would not be good. That would mean the brakes are on all the time. So this booster, it really works, like real good. It didn't do it immediately, but I popped the one-way valve out of it, and I was thinking, okay, that'll let it go. Well, it didn't. It was still very stuck. But I walked away, I come back about 15 minutes later, and it's fine. The rod is retracted, everything's good. So don't touch the brake pedal with the master cylinder off. That's what we've learned. Even though the old master cylinder honestly looks perfectly fine, I'm going to play it safe and put a new one on. I have it, may as well use it. Brake light switch on old Fords is pipe thread, as well as that adapter that we removed from the old master cylinder. There's actually no 45-degree inverted fittings on this master. With that being the case, use gas oil. It's somewhat brake fluid resistant, somewhat. So this or just good old liquid thread sealant works fine, but not Teflon, not regular Teflon tape. That won't cut it. I've got a bench vise in there, so I'm gonna have to walk over here and use a bench vise. I'm gonna bench bleed this thing. Yeah, it's single pop master cylinder. Gets the job done as long as you know your brakes are fine. I know you just seen me put a dual pod on that Skylark, the Cadillac. That's a little different story. I mean, that thing's going down a drag strip, right? Little bit different. Car like that station wagon there, hell, it was fine for 117,000 miles with a single pop master cylinder. It'll be fine for, well, about another 50, considering this one's Chinese, but still, it looks pretty good. This popped on there, looks beautiful. Look at that. Every wheel spins that good. Hopefully we don't have any stuck drums. I'm going to say we probably don't. Good old Ford drum brake. Everything looks beautiful in here, though. I mean, seriously, the bushings, the ball joints, everything. I don't think it's even loose. It feels tight. Everything feels really tight. And before we get started on this, I gotta tell you, this car did not have a title when I bought it, and it does now. How did I manage to do that in such a short time? Well, it's my buddy Jared with Classic Vehicle Search and Rescue. I'm just gonna hold this up here. This is him. See that? Email, phone number. You need a title? You call Jared. He got me titles for all those cars I bought in New Mexico. It is totally legitimate and legal. If you need a car title, call Jared and hit him up. Like $350, you can get a title for a car. That is so worth it. It's not even funny. Total game changer. Otherwise, this car in Missouri, contact your local reps in Missouri. You may as well just scrap it because you cannot get a title in Missouri. You can't just, there's no bonded title process. There's nothing. There's nothing. In Kansas, 20 miles to the west of me, you can go to a highway patrol station. They'll inspect the VIN, make sure it's not stolen, and then they'll give you a title. It's that simple. That's how it should be everywhere. Thankfully, guys like Jared exist to get a title if your state doesn't let you. Well, what do you think? Brake line roulette. We got one in the chamber or no? Broke free, no problem. Let's get the bearing out. Let's see how bad it is. Obviously, it rolls great. All right. Looks beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. Could reuse it. I've got new Timkins, though. I'll probably go ahead and replace them. All right, so that drum, yeah, it's on there. The brake, the shoes are dug into the drum, it feels like. Drum is in excellent condition. Just got a little rust ridge in it. This looks like brand new. Got bonded shoes, so it's had a set of shoes put in, which, you know, it would after 117,000 miles. Wagner Lockheed wheel cylinder. I'm going to replace it to be safe, but if my replacements don't fit well, I bet we could clean that up. There's the inner bearing. I mean, it's gross, but it's not like bad. Totally salvageable if we wanted to. Even the wheel seal's in good shape. Let's hit this with some brake clean just in case there might be Spider-Man living in here or something. Spider-Woman's the one you really got to look out for, though. The Black Widow. I'm going to pop this side apart and just see what it looks like real quick. Let's try the brake line. A little more stuck than the other side. Yep, there it goes. Beautiful. Staying alive at brake line roulette today. So the other brake looks just as good, like brand new. In fact, the shoes are new. They got just as much meat on them as the new ones I have. However, these are bonded shoes, which means they're glued on. And not only that, but I could tell, you used to get relined shoes. You could get those pretty cheap back in the day. Not even that long ago. But see how there's no holes in the new shoe? These have holes where the rivets used to be, and then whenever they would reline them, they just take a new liner and glue it onto the old shoe. I mean, they're probably totally fine, but it does make you wonder, like, it moves quite a bit. What happens when you get on the brakes and heat them up? Do they separate? It's a risk, and it's not one I'm willing to take. Same with the wheel cylinder. Like, I bet you could bleed these brakes. It'd probably work. I'm not willing to take that risk. Got a single pop master cylinder. One thing goes wrong, you're dead. And that's simple as that. You know, I've never taken apart a drum brake that had two sets of hold down pins on each shoe. They were really worried about this thing moving around. Slowly piddle my way through this. You want to see drum brake rebuilds? I mean, just go watch, I don't know, any other video. I'm basically, I mean, like, if someone needed a lube tech in 1973, I'm your guy. You know, this is what, when you went to Jiffy Lube, they would actually be able to do this stuff instead of stare at you blankly. You know, I would have been Jiffy Lube's top dog in 1973. Today, I don't even know if I'm qualified to scrub the toilets. I can tell that this wheel cylinder has been replaced. See that? These little tabs here are supposed to lock the nut in place, and that one's in place. That one's there. This one is bent and not quite there, right? That tells me that somebody put a wheel cylinder in here. I think someone had the drums turned on this thing. Like they had shoes and had the drums turned, because they're in really good shape. I'm just going to knock the rust off them. I'm going to pack bearings, get this thing tossed back together up front, brakes adjusted, and then move to the rear. And I am going to replace the wheel seals because this one was fine, but the other side, the wheel seal was actually bad. If you ever want to know, like, what does a bad wheel seal do? Grease starts to build up on the back of the hub, and this one's got a little bit of it. A little bit of grease here. It gets onto the backing plate, and eventually it works its way onto the shoes, and then your brakes don't work, and then you die. Put the $2 wheel seal in. It's good insurance. Well, I suppose we should go ahead and make sure it's all brand new. I know, I'm going all out. I'm hitting it with the wire wheel. I've really changed my ways. New building, same shit. Welcome to Pole Barn Garage. Oh my. Hello there, beautiful. You look remanufactured, if I do say. I'm gonna get the dingleberries and spider eggs off of this thing. I would burn them, but JD took off with my torch because he's changing exhaust manifolds on his 59. You know, you win some, you lose some when they're into cars. Also, looks like brand new. Look at that drum. Look at that. This has been sitting for 50 years. Look at that. That's wild. It's shiny as can be. That means it's been dragging, but still. Oh yeah, that wheel cylinder's bad for sure. It's got crusties in it. As you can see, the original shoe, or the old shoe in here, is bonded. Well, I was actually able to find, I couldn't get them for the front for whatever reason, but I got some riveted shoes, although there is more meat on these old worn shoes than this new one. But these are riveted, which is better. I mean, much more durable. These brakes are pretty much same old, except for this guy. I can't get my locking pliers onto there. It turns into this very terrifying pry it off. It's under a lot of tension. Let me tell you, see the sparks? Yeah, there we go. Yep. Then you just kind of hope it doesn't hit you in the mouth. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Let's play brake line roulette again. What do we got? What do we got? Come on, get on there. It's 3/8. I know it is. Going in blind. Not even stuck. I don't know why I even buy cars up here in Missouri. Why do I even do that to myself? We got 2 more rounds in the brake line roulette game. We have the line to the rubber hose that goes to the T on the axle. Ooh, snug. And good. Oh God, desert cars. Thank you, Chihuahuan Desert. And the wheel cylinder. And it's like it was put together yesterday. Generally speaking, almost all rubber brake line hoses are 5/8 hex. So if you cut the hose off like that, then you can get a socket on it. And an impact, preferably. Ooh, don't break now. This sucker is pretty stuck. There, got it. And that lets you pull the fitting out, which is now permanently lodged in this Harbor Freight socket. Thank God for their generous return policy. Just look in there. See that? That thing's plugged bigger than shit. It probably would have passed brake fluid, but not for long. Well, the brakes are put together. Let's slide under here. Let's see if we need some U-joints. Tail shaft bushing is destroyed, but the U-joint seems okay. How about you? I mean, you could tell this thing was buried in the freaking sand, but honestly, it doesn't feel that bad. I'll probably change them anyway. I couldn't find a transmission filter for this. And I'm kind of glad I didn't buy it, because that looks like a freaking nightmare to do. No thank you, we'll make that someone else's problem. There's the modulator valve, and as we know, the car had a brand new modulator valve in the glove box. I wonder why. It looks pretty bad. It's had one hell of a leak somewhere. I mean, look at all this grime. I think it's the transmission leaking. Although the transmission's still full. Oh, it's power steering. That's what it is. Slave cylinder's blowed out. Pretty sure they sell a seal kit for that. I'm going to look into that right now. Man, this car is immaculate. What a beauty. You could wash this thing, it'd still be black. I mean, it would still be painted. I love this car. Look at that. This is factory exhaust. That's not aftermarket. Those are factory hangers. Factory dual exhaust. This thing's actually gravity bleeding fairly well. I think I'm going to let it do its thing for a little bit here. Let's hang out for a little while in the shop. Well, I just let them drip for a little while. Let's see what we got. Good brakes. Hard as a rock. That'll do. Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. The damn thing just fixed itself. I told you this son of a bitch is ready to go on the road. It's just chomping at the bit. You just look at it. It's like, come on, you lazy son of a bitch. Get me put back together. Chill. As promised, I got the stickers, and I put that one on crooked. Here's what we got to do. This is what I would like to do for this video. Got some interior stuff to do next time. So let's start with the fuel filler hose. Something's got to be done. I like to slow roll my way into work every day if I can. I got some new fuel filler hoses at O'Reilly, just kind of universal stuff. Hopefully I can make it fit. Let me try to get the old one off. You see the factory clamps are still on there. We'll have to cut them out of the way. Let's take a pair of cutters and just kind of twist and it'll break apart. I probably got to pull the neck out of the quarter, don't I? Yeah, easy enough, 4 screws. Like it was installed yesterday. God. Come on. There we go. So this is nearly impossible. The fuel filler hose I have isn't bendy enough to follow the metal pipe in this filler neck that actually runs all the way to the tank. And then I found this radiator hose that I'm able to get installed if I do it outside the car, but you can't install it and then put it in the car. I don't know what to do. They don't make that hose. The only thing I could think to do is cut this tube out, and then I could hook a hose straight to it if it wasn't for this. I don't know how necessary that is, because it's vented around it is why it's shaped like that. Like this is the fill tube, and then this gap up here is the vent. I'm gonna cut it off. That's the only way this is gonna happen. I hate to do it, but I don't know what else to do. I'll just cut it, I don't know, down here. Keep as much of it as I can. There, that will work. Look at that, isn't that genius? This fuel hose is actually rated to be exposed to fuel, so I'm gonna guess that's why they didn't just do this to begin with. Let's see if it works. So far, so good. I think it's doing it. Well, I don't know if it's necessary, but throwing some new U-joints in will make me feel better. Yeah, no puke. That's good. Oh man, this thing's crusty. I don't think there's a damn thing wrong with this. There's really no way to tell unless you get it out, though. You get a cap off of it. Well, they're not bad. If they're greasable, we could probably just grease them up, put them back on. They are not greasable, though, so those probably wouldn't last too terribly long. Let's just change them for peace of mind. I've got new Moog U-joints for it, and I must have ordered these parts before my last run-in with Moog. I'll never buy Moog U-joints again. The last ones I had didn't even fit. Now these are their better ones, the super strength ones. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they can redeem themselves, but they're definitely Chinese. Well, for some reason, one of the U-joints I got is wrong. This is a conversion joint for something. I'm tempted just to put the original back in, but I'll go get one. They'll probably have one at the parts store. Part listing shows a cross conversion U-joint for the rear end, but that's not necessary as far as I can tell. I don't know why the original one isn't. The original one is the same thing as this Spicer U-joint right here. I don't know why they list it that way, but it ain't what this is. But they did have a good Spicer U-joint in stock at O'Reilly, so I snagged that. I love my Spicer U-joints. They're made in Michigan. Good stuff. This U-joint will outlive the car. The Chinese Moog there, I'll be addressing that in about 10,000 miles. You can bet on it. Get this back in there. All done here. It feels quite a bit better. Tail shaft bushing is still, well, it's not great, but I think we did some good here. I want to see what gear this thing is. It's still got the tag on it. Holy cow. Looky there. 350s. Woo, she's got a scoot. It's not a posi, is it? Nah, open diff. Only spinning one. That rear end sounds kind of dry. Let's check the fluid. I think it's all these older 9-inches that have the fill on the back of the housing, which is pretty nice. Easy to get to. Let's see. Not that low. I can reach it. That doesn't even need topped off. That's fine. I mean, it probably needs changed, but it's got plenty of grease. For my next trick, let's get some shocks on here, and that's going to be easier said than done. The fronts don't look like they'll be too bad, but on the rear of the car, the original factory dual exhaust runs right in front of the shock bolt, and it doesn't move much, so that's going to be a real bitch to get to, honestly. I'm going to do the fronts first. I don't even think it needs them. I mean, not really. Can't tell if I'm spinning the whole shock or if it's just unbolting, but it kind of feels like it's just unbolting. Nope, spinning the whole shock. See it up in there. So we'll snap them off. Or try to. There we go, I can kind of get to it now. Comically large extension. Come on, snap off. You don't need to be there anymore. Got it. It's going to get these two off. As long as they don't already got a nut stuck through the control arm on them. That's what happens is the clip breaks and then people put a nut in there and then it's very hard to get out. There we go. One shock. As far as shocks go, KYBs are pretty good. The Excel G is their budget line. They work all right. Front shocks are done. I don't think, yeah, they were bad. So this side shock, it wasn't bad. They're oil charged shocks, so it had good resistance. This one just locked up, actually, I think. Yep. I was hoping that both of those would be good, and then I would say, oh, well, the rears are surely fine, but they're probably not. Surely a wrench won't do it. Oh, it will. Haha. Desert car for the win. The only way to get this shock off is with an open-end wrench, as far as I can tell. I can kind of jam a socket onto it, I guess, but I'd probably end up breaking something. Kind of wish I got air shocks for it, or overload shocks, or something else, but I guess new KYBs will do for now. That's why you put a jack under it. That would have fell on my face for sure. Dumb design. Oh, it's frozen. I can't move it. There. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I like the overload shock. That's factory. That's a factory shock. I'll be damned. There you go. Nice.
That's crazy how that just comes right off.
Oh, isn't it? I mean, that I would have never. Well, it's a desert car. I mean, this don't happen in Missouri. I'd get that nut started on the top first.
That's true.
Make sure you put the washer on. Nice.
Yeah.
All we need is tires, and we can drive. Well, just for giggles, let's see if the AC will work. Alright, go turn it on. You just turn the knob, the speed knob, to the right. Not sucking it in. I don't know if I'm doing this right, you know? I mean, this should be the low side. The bigger pipe should be the low side. I don't think it's actually going in.
Yeah, it just feels like air.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, the brake lights are on.
Oh,
Alright, the brake lights.
one is.
I think the brake booster's bad. It sucked the pedal to the floor. I bet they're locked up, aren't they? Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, brake booster sucked them to the floor. Alright, well that's good to know. It's running good.
Yeah, it is running good now.
Yeah, identified.
Yep.
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 Why is it doing that? Well, anyway, whatever I'm doing here, it's the wrong thing to do. So I tell you what, I ordered a shop manual for a 1964 full-size Ford, and I bet it'll tell me how to fix it or how to fill it, because there is no information on this online. And I guess I'll keep an eye out for a brake booster, or I'm not sure what's going on with that. That's not good. Yeah, oil pressure. Freaking maxed out, baby. That's good.
Dude, that's so cool.
And they work.
Yeah. Does radio work?
I've had it on. And what's so far. And screw it, I'm gonna power wash the whole underside of the car. Wow. I made it even bigger mess somehow. Look at this shit. See how the frame is still black? Like it's still got paint on it. It looks really nice. Cleaned everything off, you know, I don't know. I probably should have started there, to be honest with you. I don't know why I didn't do that. Anyway, I'm gonna let it drip dry, go mount some tires up. Also, you might notice that the tailgate is down because last night when the camera is off, I may have been messing with that window and it's still a disaster. I'm not looking forward to messing with it. Let's do tires. We can do that. Maybe. Oh, and I did power washed off the original floor mats and they cleaned up pretty nice. I mean, they're kind of ugly looking. I don't know if you should like dye them maybe. Maybe if I dyed them red. I'm not sure what would work, but either way, they're going back in the car. I'm sure these ancient bias black tires are just going to be a delight to get off. might have to just cut the beads. If you wonder why I don't go to tire shops to mount my tires, because I do a better job than they do. That's why. I bet they wouldn't even touch these. Here's what we got for new tires. Max Grip Classics. Look how wide the white is. They actually sell a full wide white for about $100. About $120. These were a little less, but the white wall is still wider than like the LTD's tire right there. That's not, I mean, they're okay, but this is cool. You know, wide whites are only appropriate for 50s cars, but in the 60s, if you were a grandma, you would have had tires that look like this. So they're perfect for a station wagon. 215 75 14ths. Tall, big tall sidewall. It only took me like 25 minutes and 1,000 calories to get the tire on the wheel. I still got to seat the bead, but hey, I just saved $20. I mean, come on now. This shit ain't free. We gotta pinch those pennies where we can. This ain't UNICEF. You know, when things get tough like this, and it sucks, and you just wanna give up, pay someone else, or you know, go inside, take a nap. You know, do anything other than this. It reminds me of something my dear departed grandfather would say to me at a time like this. And he'd say, "Son, what do you need, a my dog? Get your fucking ass back to work." He was a wise man. You don't give up. You don't give up. You keep fighting. You keep doing it until you fucking get that goddamn tire on that goddamn wheel. You don't cry about it. You just do it. That's what you do when you're a man. You just do it. Come on, you rock, son of a bitch. There we go. 4 brand new tires. Let's get them on the car. I'm gonna have to get some new wheel covers, or at least centers for these. I don't know if they re-pop those. See how this one is actually melted from the desert sun, reflecting off of that and melting it like a magnifying glass on an ant colony. Well, these will do for now. I want hubcaps and I don't want dog dishes. A dog dish is called a poverty cap for a reason. If you had them on your car, you were poor. If you were driving a Colony Park station wagon, you were not poor. I like these wheel covers. I just need to find new centers or better shaped wheel covers. Oh, that's cool. I love that. That looks like 1964. That's what we want. 2025 kind of sucks. 1964 is kind of cool. Oh, that's perfect. What a good old girl. Well, the tailgate's still down, but I'll mess with that in a minute. I want to take it down the driveway. Just feel it out, you know? We'll have to fix that too. But, you know, we're getting there. One thing at a time. And don't worry, the glass is secured in the tailgate. It's not going to go anywhere as long as we don't drive fast. Smoke's a little excessive, and it died, but that's okay. It'll come around, or it won't. Either way, I don't mind rebuilding it if we have to. Why isn't this door latching? Come on. You worked before. Well, it's fine. That's a feature, not a defect. the neutral safety switch. Also, feature, not a defect. It's very safe. There we go. The brakes work really good, but the booster's shot, so I just have it unplugged. Come on, baby. Oh boy. 117,000 miles. She probably needs a set of rings. The good thing is they're cheap. Adapt, improvise, overcome. Yeah, that'll work. Transmission goes right into gear. You stay shut over there. Can't drive too fast, gotta remember that. Tailgate's down. It's doing good now. Like 90% of the time, an old car just needs driven and used, and things start to kind of do their thing again. It's running great. Good oil pressure, it's charging. Oh, the gas gauge works. Look at that. I just had to go for a drive down the driveway. I had to. I needed the reward. The brakes are great. I mean, it takes a lot of leg, but you can do it. So just idling. Just idling. Happy as can be now. Not smoking. It's probably just valve guides, honestly. No, that's rings. If I blip it. No, that's valve guides. Those are easy. JD has appeared. What do you think? Nice car, huh?
Yeah.
Got to reach for the sweet spot. Nice, huh? Power steering is freaking nice. Look at that.
Yeah, it works really well.
Nice. I want to get on it, but the tailgate's down. It's probably not a good idea. Dang. It's got a little bit of pull to it. All right. Oh, look at that steering. Just perfect. I don't know. What do you think that is?
Something with suspension.
It'll wear in.
Yeah.
Behold, using the power of the probe, I have figured out that we have a bad ground on the motor, basically. So check this out. That works pretty good. Now, it's not supposed to be up right now, but it's not perfect. And I have got the regulator, it appears to be one tooth off. It's sticking up slightly over here. I'm going to see if I can still shut it. If not, I'm going to have to pull this regulator back out and retime it. I just kind of guessed and hoped for the best, but hopefully it was good enough. Let's see. Yeah, that works. That works fine. So what I need to do is trace down this wiring, which goes under the car, and give the motor a good solid ground. It has its own ground wire. It's not enough to ground through the case, apparently. But I am going to exercise it a little. Just let it run back and forth like that. There we go. It's getting better. So I was laying here talking to Jess and letting my back kind of chill out for a minute, and trying to find the wiring that goes to the motor for the tailgate. And I saw this blue thing hanging out of the bumper. It was tucked up behind the license plate light. It's like brand new. It's a luggage key. And it's in French, I think. Is that French?
Perhaps.
Resbouillot, Lisson, I don't know. But it's got a pouch. there's nothing in it, but it's definitely where a key would have gone, and then you would tie this onto something. Maybe not a key, maybe just a name card or something, so that you don't lose your luggage when you travel. But how long has that been wedged up inside of this bumper? I mean, did they take a trip somewhere? How did it even get down here? I mean, maybe a kid shoved it up in there or something? It's like pristine, still flexible. What is this? Let me know. I've supplemented the ground. Still have it hooked up, going to wherever it's supposed to go. But I'm just going to add a little extra bit here, ground it straight to the frame with a self-tapper. Ready?
Yep. It's trying, but it's not doing it.
God damn it. Can you help it?
Yeah.
Need to put a little grease in the tracks.
Yeah.
Doing anything?
Nope.
Okay, well, my nemesis has returned.
Yeah, that shaft there, the input shaft there, usually before it would turn and try, but now it's not even moving at all.
No, it locked up. Motor died. Well, that was all for nothing. That's great, but at least it's shut, so we can drive it. I got a manual regulator for it, and I just bought a crank mechanism. So you can't find the motor. I don't know what to do. You let me know what I should do, but I feel like a crank would be better. Let's take it for a drive. See how she does. We can do that. You'll have to hold the door shut. Looks like the latch. There's a spring in there, and I think it's broke.
Yeah.
It's not letting it latch. Thankfully, I think you can get those. Hey, your door opened for you.
Oh.
All right, well, let's see how she does. I'll try not to take any hard lefts for you.
Yeah.
Brakes are good. They're actually not that bad. I mean, not that hard to push. What?
Oh, just the door.
Oh, the door?
Yeah.
Boy, it drives good. I can't see a damn thing. Drives very smooth. Speedometer works. Drives really nice. Probably
Ride's good too.
Yeah, the shocks are nice. It's not smoking. At least not going down the road. Kick it in the ass. I mean, it ain't no rocket ship, but it ain't bad. Pretty dusty in here.
Yeah, it is.
The brakes are fine. We get a booster on this thing. It'll be really good. Stops nice and straight. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Some stuff in the back.
Kick down works. Shifts through the gears, no problem. Transmission feels fine. We're coming up on some temperature now. One little concerning thing, the charging gauge is pegged. So I think the regulator's stuck. It's probably going to kill that battery quick. Probably need to change out the voltage regulator or clean the contacts in it at least. Good oil pressure yet. We're doing 55 miles an hour, it says. I don't think so. I think speedo's a little off. Still no radio. It's not a slouch.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, not for a station wagon. So it's idled up super high. I couldn't even get it to stall up because it's idled up so high. But it took off good. I mean,
yeah,
it's got some balls to it. I mean, it's not going to win any races, but you're probably not getting past a whole lot on the highway either. She's doing good, really good. Normal temperature, seems fine. Turn signals work. And whenever I first got this carburetor going, I had to crank the curb idle up on it really far, and I actually wonder if it doesn't need that. I need to probably back it back off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's stuck on the fast idle. Thermostat just opened because the temp gauge just fell, so that's working. This is a nice car.
Yeah, it is.
Solid car. It's holding together really well. I would not hesitate to hop in this car and drive somewhere right now. I mean, a little bit of stuff to make it more comfortable, you know, but it feels really solid. I'm glad you went with me, otherwise I'd have to try to hold that door shut. She's just, I mean, look at that temperature. I mean, who knows what that means, but this is the first time this car's been on the road in, I mean, 50 years at least, more. Not bad. Not bad for 50 years.
Yeah.
Oh, the indicator works on the fender for the turn signal. I don't know if you can catch that.
Here, we'll catch them while we're back in
Yeah,
the
we'll
shop.
do it in the shop. Hold on to your door.
Ooh.
You know, it actually handles really good for a big old station wagon. It's so wide, you know. I'm gonna drive it a little bit more. I'm enjoying this. Usually I'm, you know, half scared to death by about now when we're driving a car for the first time, but I feel good about this. Since we're doing 60 right now, and we might be, it's pretty smooth. I mean, it could use the tires balanced, of course. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, this is pretty good. It's not done by any means. I mean, I'd like to get that front end squared up. You know, it's just got some slop. We gotta do a lot of little things, but this is solid. Good old car. Hold on to your door.
And to myself so I don't fly out.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. She gets down, dude. I mean, it's just a good solid pull. That car in front of us is hitting the brakes a lot, so I'm not gonna really get after it, but it's got a good strong pull to it. I mean, even up this hill here, little shudder there. Oh yeah,
That was pretty good.
good shift. I gotta get this freaking light fixed it. Even idled up like that. It didn't diesel or nothing.
Got an exhaust leak back there.
Yeah.
Expected. That might be what that ticking sound is.
Yeah, it is. It's not the motor. Motor sounds good. And it's not smoking anymore. I don't see anything weird, smell anything weird. Let's see why the throttle is stuck. Oh, you know what?
What?
That would cause fast idle. See, you like my plug for that? That, it may just be that, actually. That may not be perfectly sealed, if you can believe it. Actually, I'm just going to go with that's what the problem is. So it had a vacuum leak. That's why it just started doing it all of a sudden. Oh, what? Look at this indicator.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
I don't think the other one works.
It does work.
Really?
Yep. Just dim. Here, hang on.
Oh, I see it, yeah. Well, guys, I think that's pretty good for a part 1 on it. You're going to see this car probably get fully restored, you know, in my own way. It will become a very nice car. We're going to do paint and body last because even though I'm not a patina guy, I don't hate how the car looks. But I want to do the interior. Obviously, we got to get all the doors functioning better. We got to figure out that tailgate motor or something for it. We got lots of wiring things to do. We have a lot of little things to wrap up, but I think this car is worthy of a multi-part series. Please check out polebarnmerch.com and help support, you know, kind of sponsor-free stuff like this. If you want to see more on it, just let me know. I mean, if the videos perform well, I'll do more. And if they don't, then, well, I'll do it, but I'll do it on my own on the side. And that is unfortunately the realities of YouTube. So, but I think this will do well. I think people will be into this. They ought to be. What a good car. Off the road for over 50 years, and we just took it for, what, 15 miles probably? I mean, it did totally fine. I would not hesitate to just jump in this car and drive to New Mexico right now if I had to. But I would be a lot more comfortable if we had a better seat and carpet and stuff like that.
And the door shut.
And the door would be nice. And the tailgate would be nice. If you have parts for one of these, please let me know. Hubcaps or interior parts especially, or electrical lenses, all the common things that are baked or burned off. I have 2 brand new taillight lenses for it, and I'm on eBay every day looking for stuff for it, but so far I'm kind of striking out. So let me know, and we'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. Great. Get to scrubbing.
Nope, that's your job.